decided to be at the forefront leading that sector. I'm talking about Konda Wote Wametuning, talking about Dere Wote Wametuning. Big shout out to you. You do an amazing job every single day to make sure that we get to work or our places, different places in Nairobi or other parts in good time. Sasa?
Absolutely. We were in conversation with Dixon Bugwa, who is the chairman of the Matatu Welfare Association. And you had just left, you were telling us about the idea of Termini and how they're allocated and how Matatu Saccos play into it. And sometimes we begin with few Saccos who later split into many Saccos. Yeah, and they still need Termini. Yeah.
That's in the Termini, and you know the land mass does not expand.
Yeah.
Despite that, the population keep on increasing and so forth. But in regard to terminus in Nairobi, we have now adopted a unified kind of approach with the Honorable His Excellency the Governor Johnson Sakaja, who is doing a good job. We are now trying to manage the terminus and the routes through the corridors. We have corridor representatives, and then you have the FPTS Federation, which is the apex body in the matatu industry in the country. So we are trying to rein in on that and address the omissions here and there, which is catching up very well. Now, in regard to the taxation I mentioned earlier on, we have the road service license, we have the seasonal parking ticket, which is paid in nearly in all counties. And it's expensive in some is fairly moderated. And then we have the fuel of late, the VAT went back to 16 from 80%. That's another huge kind of expenditure. Then you have the mother of all the taxation, that's advanced income tax. And this is levied to the PSB investors simply because of they have not been filing income tax. So that's why you have the advance. But the moment they file, if they are paid in excess, they are refunded. If they are paid below, then they have to top up. And that's how that one is working. And don't forget about the insurance covers.
Yes.
All these are
Running
huge
costs.
expenses.
Yes.
Na pia rent seeking. You talked about it.
Yeah, you do factor it.
Which is unaccountable.
Yeah, true.
It's not mentioned anywhere.
Yeah, you can't claim for it from KRA. Well, we also wanted to ask you about perhaps getting a more unified voice for the matatu sector. I know you've talked about in the past things like undercutting each other price-wise. Sometimes there's, allegations that the industry is run by cartels here and there. Tell us how, the industry can get a unified voice.
We have started, we constituted what we call Federation of Public Transport Sector, which I'm the Secretary General. And then we have Bwana Edwin Mukabana, the MD for Kenya Bus, who is our chairman. And we have Bwana John Medho, one of the directors of Metrotrans, is the treasurer. And then you have the other associations. You have 9 of them in number.
Yes.
That's a big force.
It is.
Composed of 19 people. This is what now of late is now driving the matatu sector in this country. In fact, it's partnering the government to develop the BRT introduction in this country.
Okay.
And we have gone far.
Yeah.
Next year we should be having some of this rolling stock BRT in operations if all goes well.
Sasa, let's see how all is going to happen in the matatu sector. This is not the end of this conversation. We'd like to continue having it more and more. Of course, they halted the process and they decided to do more consultation. I hope the government is actually consulting with you. Have you seen any efforts of consultation with the matatu sector?
In other operational dimensions, but not the fare. Okay. Fare would really sum it up. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
If all of us can sit down and adapt that formula of coming up with a moderate fare, so that at least also the PSV investor benefits by reaping his investment projection, so that at least no one is really disadvantaged.
Yeah,
it's a good thing, but it needs a serious discussion.
Thank you so much for creating time to talk to us. Wanasema tunakupigia makofi, tunasemanga makofi kao lomide ama ariririris. Tunaweza sema ariririris ndio usikie poa.
Thank you so much for spending the morning with us. That was Dixon Bugwa, the chairman of the Matatu Welfare Association. We hope to have you back sometime soon. Perhaps if there's any developments in the sector that we need your perspective on. But thank you so much for informing us and for spending the morning with
I'll
us.
keep you posted.
Yes,
Hapo sawa
please
kabisa.
do.
It doesn't stop here. The great conversation is ongoing online. Enda pale uangalie question of the day tunakuuliza. Mnaona kama government inafaa ikuwe na regulate fare.